where you can tell that the weather is not exactly. Oh, we've already got retirements already, so straight into this qualifying session. We've already got retirements. We're watching Geordie coming out now. We've only got 11 runners, so this means that we're only going to have short quali, and yeah. So let's go. Apologies we're a bit late. We had a bit of technical difficulties. I forgot my password. So we're here now and we're ready to go. We're only 2 minutes into this session, so we have still. So you haven't missed much, and we're just watching Geordie now, who is just coming through the coming through the hairpin now. A lovely helmet there from Geordie. Is coming out of the hairpin now. We'll talk about this circuit in a minute. Also, I'm just going to quickly get the championship standings as well. So just bear with me a second. And now you can see coming into just in front of there, we're in the Mercedes grandstand there. And now we're just about to join the old racetrack. You can see this weather is bucking it down out there. It's wow, it's incredible, isn't it? I just got to remember they're on full wets. The question is, how long is this rain going to come for? Is it throughout the qualifying session, or is this going to or is it going to dry up towards the end? They ain't going to get onto slicks, I don't think. It's just too wet. As we're watching the number 33 Renault now, as he is just slowing right down and getting himself built up now, and he will be the first one to set a time. You see his outlap is 2 minutes and 3, so that's how wet it is out there. That's how slow the times are into turn one. A very difficult turn one. If you remember, Massa and Magnussen come together back in 2014, and Massa had a bit of a roll there. So which wasn't exactly the best start of Massa's Grand Prix career in Germany. So they come down the hill now into the hairpin, and yeah. So we come down to the hairpin now, and you can see then this is probably the best overtaking now. There's spot. This is turn 6, and we're going to just join on board with Geordie, the Geordie F1 in the Renault. Unfortunately, I think that's the. Oh, we got 2 Saubers in there and 2 Ferraris in there as well. So yeah, whilst we're doing that, let me just quickly share the link to everyone. And everyone has just joined us. Hello, welcome, and hopefully you'll enjoy this this spectacle when it gets going properly. It's a shame we've only got 11 drivers here today. Well, we've only got 10 because unfortunately, here's a wrap. Used to be IRC. That was the guy I was trying to think of last week. It took me over 2 hours of streaming before I remembered what his original name was. So that used to be IRC. Here's a wrap, and he was doing a very good job, wasn't he? In the middle part of the season. Of course, we're still in the middle part of the season. We're only on round 11, remember. Coming through the final corner now, and what has Geordie done? He's done a 1:24.3 so far. So landing the baton on board with Slim in the Ferrari. He's on the number 4 Ferrari. Coming into the old stadium section now, and almost losing it there. His teammate is right behind. If he lost it there, that would have also cost his teammate. As we got Samster now coming up quite close behind him. And coming around now is Carton. Remember Carton, he was on the intermediate tyres, he is. So is that a bold strategy, or is that well, a lot of them are on the intermediate tyres. Now I think intermediate tyres might be the way to go. He's already fastest. He's 1:23. Samster has gone fastest, but he's on the wet tyres, so it looks like it's a very close call, isn't it? And Slim, who's also on the intermediates as well, who's only 4th so far. And you can see, if you remember, the old track used to blast off into the trees way back when. 2001 was the last time they had that long circuit. In my opinion, I think it was the best, one of the better circuits. This one's alright, not too bad, not too good either. Have we got a guy joining the party? Wow, that's what you get for not putting it on invite only. Goodbye. So anyway, yes. So let's get. Let me just make sure that it is on private. It is on private. Wow, how did he get in? Amazing. Alright, on board the Ferrari, so this is Slim's only 4th quickest at the moment. Still there, Vanquish out there now. Vanquish is just starting the time. Christian Balco coming out there. Here comes Rocketoni. He's on the 4 wet tyres in the pass. And he comes across the line and he goes 4 fast on the 1:24. So we've got Vanquish coming around now. And he is just starting stuff. So we're going to ride on board with Vanquish now. As he's coming into turn 1. And yes, it is being live streamed. Let me just quickly. Hang on. Just trying to figure out how to get the link. It's been such a stressful day, hasn't it? Well, I can't even get the link out. So just on board with Vanquish now, he's coming down to the hairpin. And you can see then, that's quite tight hairpin, that is. So you come into the main grandstand now, and yeah, so now he's just about to rejoin the old track. So we've only got 10 runners in this, so this is not a knockout qualifying session as such. This is just a straightforward old school qualifying session where you can do as many laps as you want. You can do as many laps as you want. Obviously in the old school qualifying you can only do 12 laps, I believe it was. So you can either choose 4 runs or 3 runs, depending on if you want to have 2 fast laps in between. Magnus comes around the final corner now, and how's he going to do as he gets across the line? He only goes 5th fastest, Vanquish does at the moment, in the Force India. So it would be easy to spot Vanquish this week. He's the only pink car on the grid. Out comes Geordie, who is just coming out now in the Renault. So here comes Balco now in the Mercedes, now coming down into turn 6 and the hairpin. This is the best place for it. Look at the 4 lock there on that hairpin. Brilliant stuff. And whilst Balco is on a lap, let me just go through the championship standards if I can find it. Again, bear with me. As you can tell, I'm organised as ever. Yeah, you see that now Balco. Look at that. Getting a lot of that's how slippery and treacherous it is out there at the moment. It's very it can be very deadly. And now we come into the stadium section. To be honest, I quite like the stadium section. It's a brilliant series of corners. Now Balco now coming around the final couple of corners. Remember, this part was also part of the old track as well. And you can see then we've got a lot of Mercedes fans out there, and I think Balco's going to world cheer here this weekend. Comes across the line, what does he do? He's done 1:22.5. That's almost a second quicker than anyone else out there at the moment. So Balco looking very strong in these conditions. Rocket Turns is in the pits. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Let's just hope it's something. Yeah, I think it's just Geordie there. Geordie just setting himself up for a lap. And now he's going into turn 1. And you see this turn 1. That's a pinch zone, that is. So yeah, that's going to cause huge problems in the race. So then in the championship we still have Vanquish, who had a brilliant race last time out in Silverstone and won the race, and he's now 42 points now in front of second place man of Slim, and of course third position is Samster, Carton in 4th, Peter Rapp is 5th, Andy Cole in 6th, BP, who's returning after he's had a holiday, so he's missed a couple of races, BP, but he's back here tonight, so hopefully he had a good holiday. You can see that it is starting to get a bit drier out there now, and didn't want to get out of the way of Geordie there. I didn't see who it was. And in the constructors, hang on, my phone's developed a fault. And in the constructors, of course, Ferrari have been the team to beat, haven't they? They've done amazing this year. They're on 230 points already. That is incredible. Balco goes faster still, and he's extending his gap at the front. Look at that, that's over a second. Is Balco the Rainmaster, is he? On this, which is quite fitting really, to be honest, because remember this 25 years ago today we had a awful Grand Prix in San Marino in Imola, where we lost Ayrton Senna, and of course don't forget we lost Roland Ratzenberger as well in the Simtech in qualifying of Imola. Awful day that was. Luckily I didn't watch that race. Luckily that was before my time, but yeah. Awful. It was watching the highlights of the actual on the actual video I used to have. It's awful to watch. Geordie now coming down now. He's also done a 1:21.8, but Samster has done a 1:21.0 at the moment. So he is 8/10 in front. And this is how big the gaps are in terms of the wet running. The advantage of having the wet running though is that you can fill up the car and you can just keep going round and round and round. Crazy Power hasn't set time yet, nor has BP, but BP comes across the line now. Of course, he hasn't raced for quite a while, but it doesn't matter about that because he's right up there straight away. 1:21.1, only a 10th away from Samster at the moment. Vanquish is looking a bit is struggling, but every time I say Vanquish is struggling, he seems to just pull it out of the bag, doesn't he? He's in terms of qualifying, he's definitely like Lewis Hamilton, like, isn't he? Just comes out of nowhere. As BP now comes across the line now in the second Sauber. Sauber's got a very good lineup here, and Crazy Power goes on a 122. Geordie goes across the line, and what does he do? He is improved by 5/10, and he's only 3/10 away now. These guys are starting to now get into the swing thing as Lennon comes up into 4th position at the moment, and it goes right off the track. Remember that this track is very brutal for track limits, so you've got to be careful in this on this track. Now then, I don't think Leonard's going for a second, but Slim is just improved by 2 seconds there. So we've got 6 minutes to go then. Remember the top 10, depending on, remember that usually the top 10 will start on the tyres that they qualify on, but because it's changeable conditions, that isn't going to happen. So they'll be on fresh tyres and they will be going to they will sprinting. So 6 minutes ago we've got Samster, who's currently in the pits at the moment. We've got BP in second, Geordie is in 3rd position, we've got yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully that was just a brief yellow flag. Geordie in 3rd position. 4th position is Lennon in the Haas. 5th position is Slim. 6th position is Crazy. Balco 7th. Vanquish down in 8th. Down in 9th now, as Lennon has a I think it's Rocketoni decided had a good time. He's now right up into 4th position. Of course, you can see Rocketoni also racing tomorrow in the Super League. Same time, same place, same. Well, hopefully we get the IRC channel up and running fairly soon. But yeah, at the moment, yeah, same place as well. So we will be in Hockenheim tomorrow. So if yeah, will the super drives, which I used to always check to see what was going on in the elite league. As Rocketoni going very wide there. It's going on to the paint as well. That paint can be quite deadly. As we're on board Vanquish, he's only a 10th up in the 1st sector. Vanquish as Carton's right down into 10th now. Of course, Hilzerap, who is actually out qualifying straight away. We missed that, unfortunately, because yeah, because I was sorting it, faffing about and trying to get all the stuff up and running. But everyone's now on intermediate tyres. That is the way to go, isn't it? It's much quicker than the wet tyres. Of course, the wet tyres are mainly for standing water, whilst intermediates have got a great range of whether it's almost dry to completely saturated. But as Vanquish comes in the pits, is he struggling, or is he just trying to get himself G'd up? As we're on board now with Slim in the Ferrari. Of course, he's 42 second in the championship game. He's 42 points behind Vanquish. Vanquish has been in the League of One this year, hasn't he? He's been amazing. So it's got yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. Let's just have a look, see what's going on there. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I think it's just guys just trying to get up here with under 4 minutes now to go. As you can see, a bit of oversteer there from Slim. As he's now coming into the final couple of corners there. This stadium section is brilliant to watch, isn't it? And Slim's now coming into the pitch. You can see, look how treacherous it is. The car is trying to get away from him as he comes into the pitch. Remember, they have to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour. That's 50 miles an hour, or 49 as the graphic says there. Rocketoni is getting quicker then. Lovely helicam shot here. So the question is it going to be ready in the race, which is coming up fairly soon? You can see that it's a lot drier than it was to begin with. There's still a bit of spray coming out of the back of the Haas car there. He is 300th down at the moment, Rocketoni is. Is he going to come in and put a set of intermediate tyres on? Of course, that would be. Of course, they will still be. They'll be fresh, which means that they will, similar to how dry tyres work. Fresh tyres will go quicker. And so Rocketoni will be in the pits now as well. So you can see they're all coming in now. So Vanquish is out on the outlap, and so is Carter. Crazy Power, I think, is starting a lap in the Sauber, which will be called Alfa Romeo next year. But at the moment they are a class of Sauber to me. As we're also watching his teammate BP returning after a couple of weeks out, and he's doing a fine job. He's on the front row of the grid. BP is. Lovely helmet there as well, the electric blue there over BP. So he's coming into the final section now. Of course, we're going into the stadium section. So this is where, of course, back in the old days in Hockenheim, of course, we had some great racing, didn't we? This was definitely a car breaker. Now there's a lot more turns on this track. Of course, it was converted back in 2002. And to be honest, I kind of groaned when I saw the new track. I was like, ugh. I wasn't really a big fan of this new track. And you can see there that there's a lot of tarmac runoff, which doesn't punish you in terms of you know, going wide and bumping across, but it does affect you in terms of running wide, and you will get penalised quite heavily around this circuit. The final couple of corners, we've just seen a flash of a Ferrari. I'm not sure who that was. He crazy car into the line. He is not improved. He's almost a second down. So yeah, that's not good. We're watching Slim, who's on an outlap, but it's Balco there just recovering. But looks he's just getting out of the salvage way. Run all the Vanquish now. Vanquish needs to. He's got less than a minute to go. So if he completes this lap, he will have one more lap. If he's right down on the 5th row of the grid at the moment, that's not good for Vanquish. And so I wonder if Vanquish, does he struggle in the wet conditions? It's a very unique skill to race in the wet, isn't it? Of course, we got a couple of rain masters from the past. Michael Schumacher was amazing in the wet, as was Senna. Hamilton had some great days in the wet as well. Of course, Jensen Button was more the intermediate kind of conditions, wasn't he? He was twinkle toes, especially in I think it was Hungary, wasn't it, where he tippy-toed around. Did a great job in Hungary in 2011. And now coming across the front, what is Vanquish going to do if he comes across the line? Of course, it's a relatively short lap, this is. And what does he do? He goes first. So basically, that just shows that maybe he was just getting his eye in, but that's a second quicker. And look at that though, he is 0.02 of a second up on Samster. So what has Samster got then? Samster comes across the line as he stands up. No, he's gone pole position. He's in the 20s. So this track is just getting better and better. Vanquish has dropped down to second. What's Geordie going to do as he comes across the line? Geordie stays 4th at the moment. Rocketoni is just starting his lap. Who else is coming through? We've got Slim, who's now dropped down to 7th. He needs to improve quickly. That's a great lap from Samster. Look at that, he's almost half a second quicker than Vanquish. Coming around the front corner, here comes Slim. Bit of oversteer there, but what is he going to do? He comes across the line, he does a 1:21, and unfortunately he does improve, but he's still 7th, so that's where he's going to start. Slim is not going to be a bit disappointed by that. As we've got Carton now, who's back, who's up in the 4th position now, so Carton up in the 4th. Vanquish is down now, and I think Samster has called it a day. So Vanquish is down on his time in the second sector. I'm sure it's in Mercedes in front of him. So here's Balco in 10th position at the moment. Is he going to be able to break into the 121s or even the 120s? He comes around the final corner now. Oh, look at that. He's getting a bit of oversteer there, but he's gotten to the 121s and he's gone up to 6th. Good time. But what about Vanquish? Comes across the line. He stays. Look at that. How close is that? But Vanquish is second. Samster takes pole position. And Vanquish alongside him on row 1. Row 2 is BP and Carton. Row 3 is the Geordie and Balco. And then we've got the two Haas's of Rocketoni and Lennon. Slim down in 9th at the moment. Crazy in 10th. And unfortunately, Hills a wrap didn't set a time. He retired quite early on in the session. Have we got anyone else? Geordie's coming across the line. Way going very almost. I think just a bit of showboating now from Geordie then. So and then comes Crazy Power as well. So that's our top 10. And then Hills a wrap, who's in 11th position. And to be honest, I don't think he's going to have an advantage around here in terms of tire choice and anything like that. It depends if it's going to rain tomorrow. So later on. I keep saying tomorrow. I'm still in the old school kind of format of oh yeah, we gotta wait till tomorrow. Luckily we don't. As that Vanquish is coming right up on Balco. And he was second, so he got one lap in. Look how much drier it is now compared to 18 minutes ago when we first joined us. So there it is. Look at that, 4/10 of a second in the end. So Samster pole position, of course, third in the championship. Vanquish is second. Third is BP, of course, making a return. Fourth is Carton. Geordie 5th. Balco in 6th. Rocketoni and Lennon 7th and 8th. Slim, who is second in the championship, is 9th and wouldn't like to be there. And 10th is Crazy. And Hills are out is 11th then. So here we go then for the race, which is coming up now. Well, I wonder if we're going to have a beautiful day like that. To be honest, I don't mind really, because either way we're going to get a great race. So and you can see then there's our answer there. Look at that beautiful sunny sky. And wonder what tyres are going on. I think the tyre selection, to be honest, I'm probably going to be completely wrong, but I'm sure the tyre selection around here is the ultra softs, the softs, and the mediums. I think there's a step between the ultra softs and I think that the super softs has not actually been bought here. I could be completely wrong, and if I am, start shouting at me in the comments. Geordie's happy with his strategy, because that's what they're choosing now, strategy. So they're going to be on, all of them are going to be on fresh tyres. So Hills of Rap, who starts 11th, is not going to have the advantage that he might have done if it was a dry session. Yeah, so of course this track was first converted back in 2002. There's a couple of cracking races you might remember. I think one of the races I remember is when Jenson Button had to, I think he was getting strangled by his helmet. As we're just going to go for the formation up. I think he was getting strangled by his helmet, strap or something back in 2004. But he had a great race there, didn't he? I think he was coming. I think he had a problem qualifying and came from midfield up into second. So that was good driving from Button. 2008 as well, of course, was a great race for Hamilton, and where it was almost won by Nelson Piquet, wasn't it? Piquet came second. Incredible. Of course, that's Nelson Piquet Jr. obviously. So yeah, that was a cracking race as well. Of course, I also, the 2018 race, where everyone will remember, wasn't it, where Sebastian Vettel famously bottled it. And as Sam Stick goes very wide, Sebastian Vettel famously bottled it when it was raining, and unfortunately cost himself victory there. That almost, some people say that's been the downward spiral of Sebastian, but it might have gone even further back in 2017, of course, where things went awry there. But yeah, that was definitely a big turning point in the championship, wasn't it? Let's go through the field then. We've got 11 drivers then in this race, and we've got car 19 on pole position at Samster. Alongside him is Vanquish, number 6, the robotic Vanquish course. Nico Rosberg used to have the number 6 as well. Number 19 of BP making his return, as we keep saying. Then we got Carton in 4th position, Geordie in 5th. And then we got Christian Balco in 6th position. 7th position is Rockatoni in the Irishman in car 90. Just dropping back there. We got Lennon in 8th. Slim second in the championship is 9th. Crazy Power just behind him 10th, and then Hizzlrap unfortunately didn't do very well in qualifying. So everyone's on the soft tyres apart from Christian Balco, Rockatoni, and Hizzlrap. Everyone else is on the soft tyre. So that I don't think so. All these guys going into this race blind after the wet session of qualifying. And here we go then. Much better camera. Also, we've got 3 lights, we've got 4 lights, we've got 5 lights. There's going to be a pause of up to 5 seconds, and when they go out, we'll be racing in Canada, Germany. And here we go then. And Samster has a great start. You can see he's already pulled out a decent lead then, and they're very well behaved going into turn 1. That is incredible stuff from all these guys. There's yeah, and the Vanquish are defending, and whoa, that is a massive dive bomb from Joy there. We've got a car around us, Balco in around. Balco's around, there's also a Haas there as well, so that's Rockatoni. Balco has lost his front wing. That is such a shame for Christian Balco. Unfortunately, we only seen the end of that, but that has really ruined his race. And he was on the medium tyre as well, so yeah, he hasn't even got that. As Hizzlrap making a great lunge. Oh no! And I think Slim's got damage to his front wing as well. There's a bit of elements missing, and Hizzlrap is up into 8th position. As Carton has dropped down Lennon, but Geordie having a good start. Lennon's on a great start. He's up 3 positions. That was Crazy Power and Hizzlrap. Vanquish has dropped down a position. BP is now in front of him. So BP looking very strong in the early stages of this race, but he is a second behind Samster, who leads at the moment. Wow. So unfortunately, we're just watching Balco in front of the Mercedes grandstand, just limping back. Rockatoni, it's gone very wide, and whoa, that's very wide indeed for. You can see that's one of the few gravel traps around here. You can see he's lost a bit of the element in his front wing. I wonder is you can see, look at this line Slim, right? Geordie is got a bit of a tube behind him at the moment. Slim got in the pits. Slim has gone in the pits. Is he going to go onto the I wonder if he'll go onto the medium tyre as Rocket Tony just about comes out. Yeah, he's struggling. He's damaged his end plate, I think. So the Ferrari's coming in and out of the pits now, and they're going on the medium tyres, I believe. So medium tyres, I think, for the Ferrari. No, Len, it's a soft. Ignore me. It's the soft tyres going for Sim. So he comes out of the pits now. The Mercedes guys are in, and they're going to be out on the soft tyre as well, I believe. You can see they're fixed in the front wing. Rocket Tony also in as well. Remember, there are only 11 runners and riders in here, and they will, and a lot of them will be getting some points. Unfortunately, Rocket Tony's got a whoa, and great move there from Crazy. But look at this, Rocket Tony's out of the race, unfortunately. So all 10 guys are going to get a point karting, and look at Crazy power going on the inside now. Karting's gone very wide. There's a barrier there, so that's going to get very tasty going into the stadium section. And great racing there between Power and Karting. Getting very Rocket Tony's just a session, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll see him back here tomorrow as Power and Karting and getting very sideways. Oh, Karting looking, is he going in the pits? I think Karting's in the pits, so we must have caught that battle right at the end there where there was a bit of damage then. So as you can see, look at this, the Haas is now having a look. It's Geordie. You can see the gap is already up into 6 seconds between himself and Vanquish. Geordie's been kind of the cork in the bottle at the moment. As Lennon's having a look on the outside. He's going to go for the switchback. Oh, that was a bit too aggressive there. But Geordie there defending quite nicely. But now Lennon will have DRS because DRS has been enabled because we're on the third lap already, believe it or not. We've got 34 laps around this Hockenheim circuit. Now he's going on the outside. Is he going to be able to get past on the outside? That'd be great. But of course, Geordie's got the inside line and great stuff. And we've got another Renault fighting as well. And you can see then, I'm not sure who to watch. This is great stuff. It's Lennon now trying to come back at him, but you can see Geordie's just parked it on the parked it where he needs to park it. We'll go in on the outside again. As you can see, Geordie's doing a great job. But now Hills Rap is now starting to get interested in this battle as well. He's coming up through the field nicely. And Lennon going wow wide, and you can see that. You see where he was mentioning that concrete barrier. That will take you out in an instant. And now coming into the Sachs curve. Now it's a lovely, beautiful banked corner of the Sachs curve. It's very whoa, and Lennon just having a snap of oversteer there. As you can see, he's the meat in the Renault sandwich at the moment. He goes very wide into the final corner. That might be a warning there. So we expect a lot of penalties in this race. Wow, it's up to 9 seconds now. But what a battle between these guys. It's not about quality. It's not about quantity, guys. It's about quality. And these guys are definitely certainly showing us some quality here this afternoon. As they're coming down into turn 2, I believe. See now DRS is going to be available again. So Lennon is again in DRS. He's up to his Earth. Look at that great onboard shot there. And now we'll switch to the front of Lennon, just over the shoulder. So he is going for it. Is he having a look? But Geordie doing a great job in defending here at the moment. Brilliant job. Of course, remember, you've got to be very careful with your front wing. It's quite easy to get, it's quite easy to lose your front wing. You can see Vanquish is now getting on the back of BP as well, but we're going to stick with this battle for the minute because, whoa, things are going to get very feisty. Hopefully it doesn't end in tears, but you have that feeling, don't you? And now Lennon now coming up to the stadium section. Geordie again, this is going to be very difficult to overtake here, but look at that, he's having a sneaky look. And now coming out of the Sachs curve there, and Geordie just parking on the apex. And Slim, unfortunately, is 21 seconds behind this gap into lap 5 now. You see the over DRS zone is it's coming into turn 1. Turn 1 is quite a fast corner. You're not going to get through the car there easily. You've got another penalty as well, flashing up. So as I said before, penalties is going to be quite a lot in this race. As you can see, Samster is now 2 seconds in front of BP. This is a good race from Samster so far, well controlled. Geordie is keeping hold of 4th of him. He is now 11 seconds back from the front 3. But now Lennon going on the outside. He's through, but he's going to be and Geordie they're forcing him off. There's damage to the Renault, I think. There probably will have been for a while, but I've only just noticed. And Lennon has now got to defend against Hills Rap. This is going to get very, very. And now he's going to go on the outside again, but Geordie again defending. There's nothing wrong with that though. Good bit of defensive driving, and that's just as good as attacking in some cases. Lennon goes off the track, comes back on. I think he's just trying to. Whoa! There's contact. There's more contact. Oh, this is getting very, very spicy. He's on the outside, but going into the Sachs curve. But Geordie comes back in, and look at that. He's going for the. Oh, he's going for the cutback, but I'm gonna work around the Sachs curve. Is it? Wow, getting very feisty, isn't it, in the early stages of the race. Remember, guys, this is a 34 lap race. We've still got just under 30 laps to go. As you can see with DRSs, again, of course, we've got 3 DRS zones. We didn't have time to talk about that before, but we do have 3 DRS zones. Of course, there are 2, one on the one where they're in now, and there's also one on the pit straight as well. But I think the main DRS zone, the main attacking place is down there. Vanquish is up into, it's moved up to the second position. He's got by BP. Has he got the pace to get after that, to get after the Ferrari? He's almost 3 seconds to gap is. And you see then Geordie is still in 4th position. But there's a Renault on the inside of Lennon, and he's up in the 5th, isn't he? Is he going to cut across? And this is going to, oh my gosh! Not giving each other much space, are they? And the Crazy Power is just keeping what he's going for it, isn't he? Oh my gosh, very close, isn't it? Rubbing wheels here. Oh, and going off, he's knocked him off the track now, off the grass. And the number 96 Haas is right off. I think that's his normal racing line, isn't it? Crazy Power's going to have a look. This is going to be dangerous. But yeah, he stays in line though. Now we've got both Renaults fighting. It's Hills is doing a great job on those medium tyres. Vanquish is now second, 3.2 seconds behind Samster. BP is 2/10 behind, so the BP has done a great job so far in this race. And apart from that, I think the other guys are all spread out now. Can Hills get by quickly? Because if he can, he's going to be a threat in this race, isn't he? He is 19 seconds behind the race leader at the moment. And there's a 3 second, but remember, he's going to be on the longest thing. I presume that this is probably going to be a safe one-stopper. Going for the switchback. You see, I think Hills is doing a great job. Started 11th, and he is right up there. And BP is in front. BP has just got by Vanquish. Vanquish is having a great battle here today between himself and BP, but Hills is on the outside as well from Geordie. But Geordie is just parking it on the best racing line, isn't he? But yeah, Hills has done a great job. He's just got much more grip in those tyres, and he is now up into 4th position. Geordie is down into 5th. But a great drive. Whoa, that's way too hot. That's way too hot. And unfortunately, Lennon's damaged his front wing now. That is going to cost him buckets amount of time. He's gone right off there. Lennon has. I think he might have been letting the guys through there. So good racing off from Lennon. So the Hills is up into 4th position. We've got a yellow flag in centre free, and Lennon's out. Oh, that's a shame for Lennon. I don't know if he crashed into anything. He doesn't crash into anything. I think that might have just been a lot of frustration there from Lennon. But that's unfortunate. So Lennon is out of the race. So we're going to be down to 9 cars now. And he's left the session. So Geordie now is still defending with all his might, because he's now got Crazy Power on the back of him. Slim is now 15 seconds behind the Patton group there. So Slim and Carton are going to be interested in that battle as well. Vanquish has once again got in front of BP. There's 2 great battles going on in the moment. We're going to have to keep switching between them. As Vanquish got the edge now. Can Vanquish pull away and get after Samster? Has he got the pace? That is the question, isn't it? That's a big lock up there for Crazy Power. He's going to try to go for switchback again. Geordie's not having any of it. I think that has been a great defensive drive from Geordie. He's been on the limit, but yeah. And there's some moments a bit hairy. Whoa, like that one there. A lock up there for Crazy Power going a bit wide. And I'm coming into the stadium section now so Geordie then, he's doing a sterling job out there, isn't he? His teammate Hills who's doing an equally good job on the medium tyre. Everyone else apart from Carton is also on the soft tyre. Carton's also on the medium. And we're on board with Crazy now. You can see Geordie's really struggling, isn't he? Whoa, and you see there and just putting in power too early there, but look at that. If this is going to be a break move, if it goes for it into turn 1. Quite a 3 second penalty for his right. But look at that, Geordie's really struggling, isn't he? I thought Crazy Power was going to have a go into turn 2 here. Of course, this is where the track goes off into the new track, into the newer track. Now, you can't really call it new, can you? Because it's been here since 2002. But this track is used quite often for DTM, for all sorts of motorsport. And now he's going on the outside. This is, whoa, he's squeezing. That's fair though. But is he going to go for it? Geordie is going to have a massive dive bomb. And he's forcing, oh gosh, and they're forcing him out. And Geordie there keeps going. And then, wow, firm, definitely firm. He's got his elbows out there, hasn't he? Geordie desperately doesn't want to lose a place to Crazy here. And all this, they're losing massive times to Slim now. It's down to 12 seconds. So Slim, this is, I think Slim will be happy with this. We're on lap 10 out of 34. And it's now, again, it's got, you can see that's the understeer effect from the dirty air from the car in front. into the Sachs curve now. Oh, look at that. He's struggling to get on the power there, Geordie is. So his tires must be screaming. But he's still in front. But look, you see, look at the. Oh my gosh, he was going to lose his front wing now. This is going to be very close again. But I think Crazy Power doing a very sensible job there, just of not going into it. He's just got to wait to the hairpin. I'm sure he has, and then he can have a go again. Because at the moment in the traction zones, Geordie's just struggling, isn't he? So as soon as he gets on the power, look, power is just no pun intended there. Power is just really, he's on the power. And Geordie now. We're also keeping an eye on BP and Vanquisher, but I don't think there's no change there. But there might be a change for the battle for 5th position. Again, Geordie doing the exact same, massive lockup. They haven't gone up his tires, but that's better from BP. And BP from Crazy Power, he is up into 5th position. And you can see he blocked the exit, so Geordie couldn't get by, and he is now up into 5th position. The gap between Geordie and Slim now is down to 9 seconds. So that battling has really cost these guys. Well, Slim's on the minute stop, but we would probably have to make another one. I think Carton's on the medium tires will also have to make another stop as well. I don't think that the medium tires will get to the end from there. I'm probably wrong, but I'll be surprised. I'll have to eat my hat. I don't even have a hat, so I might have to buy a hat. Then there's Crazy Power then up into 5th position then. He's 5 seconds back from Hitherap, who's on the medium tires. So we've joined the battle for 2nd position now then. And he's half a second away from Vanquish, but he's still in the DRS range, isn't he? There's BP, but he's also, you've noticed down in the right hand side that there's a blue bar, and you can see that he's got now he's got number 2 next to a lightning bolt. That's just showing what he's harvesting. No, he's harvesting quite well. He's just in the normal harvest mode. Yeah, Jordan comes in and he's going on the inter tires. No, he's not. He's going on the medium tires. He comes out of the pits now, and he is behind Bauco. So yeah, his tires were really worn. He was really struggling towards the end of that stint. The gap is now down to under 3 seconds then between Vanquish and Samster, and they're pulling BP along at the moment. So this is the closest battle on track at the moment. They're coming into the final couple of cones now. And you can see then DRS is on the pit straight. There's the Ferrari. That's well within range, isn't it, for both Vanquish and BP. So we got a 3-race scrap for the lead. There's a massive 20-second gap between BP and Hilsarap, who's coming from the back of the grid up into 4th position now. Crazy Power is at 5th. We've got Slim in 6th position. Unfortunately, Slim and Carson getting involved in some 50 cuts there. I'm not sure if it's between each other or if it was first lap drama, unfortunately. We did see a Balco get spinning around in the background. Vanquish locking up there. BP there. He's agonisingly so close, but he's just too far back to worry Vanquish at the moment. And I think both of them will harvest in the air. You can see, look at Vanquish locking up again. Vanquish at the moment. He's really pushing that car, isn't he? He's actually bringing the gap down to a Samster, but not only that, he is bringing BP with him. See, that's the Renault in the background. That's how big the 20-second gap is. Of course, that includes the chicane in the middle as well. Lovely onboard shot here. That's the end plates on the front wing. Luckily for next year, we'll have none of that. So hopefully, it's a lot more simpler. The wings are, and to honest, I think they should go simpler. Really, and just have like the old school '95 front wings where there's just 2 flaps. But yeah, because I always show my age each and every week around when I'm talking about the golden years of Formula 1. And now coming down into turn 2, BP, as we're just keeping an eye on this battle here. We're also keeping on the battles behind. But I think Vanquish is now under 2 seconds. Is Samster just harvesting energy? Is he just saving? Well, not by the looks on that graphic. It looks like he is actually trying to deploy that because he was on high there. Is he feeling the pressure from Vanquish? I certainly would be. Vanquish is a formidable foe, isn't he, in this league racing? And now we're coming up to the Mercedes grandstand there. Because remember, back in this track at Hockenheim used to be sharing the German Grand Prix back with the Nürburgring right up to 2013, I believe, before Nürburgring decided not to host anymore, which is a shame really, because quite like the Nürburgring. Again, there was adjustments made in the Nürburgring as well as here, and but of course everyone knows about the old Nürburgring, of course the fearsome Nürburgring. That was the 8 mile long circuit. It was 8 mile, I think it was 14, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. It was a monster track, the Nürburgring. And but even the smaller tracks, BP gets a 3-second penalty. He's dropped out of DRS now. BP has. But yeah, the old even the newer Nürburgring, when they returned the shorter version, it was still a really good track to drive. I really enjoyed that track as well. Of course, then they did decide to add a few more corners in the first sector. Wasn't really keen on that, to be honest, but I like to. But I don't know what you guys think. Personally, I prefer it when it's just a chicane, really, rather than a really long, really sharp hairpin, and then really sharp hairpin. Then it was you know, a couple of corners. Yeah, I didn't like it. It kind of ruined my rhythm, really. Of course, if you remember the 2007 German Grand Prix, where Markus Winkelhoff, his one and only race in the Spiker, actually has got a yellow flag in sector 1. Christian Bauker is out. He has gone into the wall. That is a crash. Is that going to be a safety car? No, the car has been moved straight away, so Christian is out of the race. He will get 2 points, as will Lennon. So, but that's a shame for Christian. I think he was just trying too hard, and then Samster's in the pit. Samster's in the pit. That's his vanquished. What about BP? BP is in the pits as well. So these tyres are really struggling. So on lap 14 out of 35, they've got to do 19 laps then on these medium compound tyres. Is that doable? I think it's doable. Look at those fresh tyres, and he comes out just in front of BP. Oh, flipping how! Wow, that was quite close there. I think that good job that Ghost in the pit in there, because I think that would have been an unsafe release, wouldn't it? Really? As so Samster's out, Vanquish is out now. BP is also out as well. So the front three are still the front three, and they're still in the same position at the moment, even though it was a bit hair and scare between BP and Samster as they was being released from the pit. Hills Rap is now up into 4th position. Of course, Reese is expecting to go very much a little bit longer. Crazy Power is in the pit in the Sauber. You can see it was a bit slow there, wasn't it? So he's changed his front wing as well. Carton is now up into 12. Slim is up into 12. Slim is up into 5th. Carton's up to 6th. Geordie is now in front of Crazy. So I think that was because of the wing change that was. So battle was going to resume, I think, between Geordie and Crazy Power, and long may that continue, because that was a great battle, wasn't it? Between those two, albeit it was for 5th and 6th last time they were fighting. Now it's going to be for 7th and 8th. So let's see, as Samster got the legs out of Vanquish to pull away. At the moment it is back up to 1.9 seconds. A lovely camera shot of the curb there, because they not going too much over the curb there, because that would lose your time. Just about safe for the track limits into the final couple of corners. And Samster then across the line on lap 16 out of 34. Look how quick that first corner is. It's a mighty corner. That's probably where we're going to see a lot of penalties being picked up in this race. Is the first corner, and probably the last corner as well. The last two corners where if you run a bit wide, it's very hard. So you can see that Samster on this opening, a couple of laps in the stint, it looks like Samster does have the legs out of Vanquish, but just like I say that, it comes back to under 2 seconds. You can see a lovely day out there. Well, the weather gods may intervene as they did in qualifying, but at the moment it's a beautiful day out here at the German Grand Prix. German summer, this is. I think Vettel wished it was a German summer when they visited in 2018. Who knows what would have happened on that day, but that was a great race as well. Lewis Hamilton coming from 14th on the grid to win that race, albeit the bit of shenanigans with the Mercedes after Bottas was told to hold back. But was it right or wrong? To be honest, his team orders is kind of a it's kind of a mixed bag, isn't it? Because it is technically a team sport for me, but at the same time, it's also a driver. It's kind of like yeah. It's kind of conflicting, isn't it? Samster does a 1:14, but that is matched and even beaten by Vanquish, who does a 1:14.5. BP is now starting to drop off the back of these two, as these two are now starting to get up into another gear, another level. So this is where Vanquish is going to strike, I think. He is. You can see that he's harvesting whilst well, he's not harvesting as such, because look at that, he's gone into the overtake mode, which means he will be he'll be deploying quicker, which means he'll be going quicker down the straight. He's not in DRS range just yet. Slim is in the pit and he's coming out now on the medium tyre, so is he going to get out in front of Geordie? It's going to be touch and go, but I think he hasn't done enough. Geordie is now out in 6th position, so Slim has got to overtake Geordie, and we've seen Geordie's amazing defensiveness earlier on. Is defensive the word? Probably. Well, it is now anyway, and it's a yeah, Geordie's defensive driving in the beginning of the race was very, very impressive. Of course, he got a bit There was a bit of some elbows out, but yeah, sometimes you have to push the boundaries, don't you? But there might be some stewards inquiries, I think, on some of those defensive moves. But to be honest, though, I commend it because it gave us some great racing, didn't it? See, Vanquish is now on the 1:14.3, so he's another 2/10 quicker than Samster, so the gap is now down to 1.3. He's almost in the DRS range. As Geordie is being homed in now on Slim. Geordie is on 6-lap old medium tyres, whilst the Slim is on basically a brand new spanking pair of tyres coming into the stadium section. Now look at this beautiful beautiful area shot here of Hockenheim. See all sorts of variations around here, isn't it? Because it's this track's been here for so long, and now coming around the final corner. Of course, when he is not under a second yet. Hills-a-Rap is in. No, he ain't in the pits, but Carson has overtaken Hills-a-Rap. Hills-a-Rap does have DRS, and he's going to come. Slim is also on in DRS round. Look at that. Hills-a-Rap, I think, has just come out of the pit, so that's why he's just breezed by Carson. Now, Carson may come back out and going into the airpin. No, but Hills-a-Rap's dropped very wide. Carson's going to have a run, so we've got like a drag race now coming out of the hairpin, but I think Hills-a-Rap with those fresh tyres shouldn't be much of a problem for a car. Should be, well, we say that, but look at this. It's getting very feisty. We're just keeping an eye on the battle with Slim and Geordie as well. They're all starting to bunch up now, isn't they? If they all come together, it stops a couple of people on slightly different strategies because of wing damage and shenanigans at the start of the race, unfortunately. But of course, that is going through racing. You expect the unexpected, really. And I think that Hills-a-Rap will now be going to the end of the race on those soft tyres. 23 seconds behind BP, and Vanquish is now within DRS range as well. So that is going to get very. So this is going to be the battle for the lead, then, isn't it? So yeah, Samster is only under. Well, it's under a second now, isn't it? So he's reeled him in. He's reeled him in quite quickly. Vanquish seems to be a lot stronger on the second stint. But when we interview Vanquish, he's always very calm, isn't he? So. Yeah, I think it's sometimes I reckon it's more tactical, isn't it? And you can see now we're now watching Slim, Crazy Powers also catching these guys. Of course, it's going to be a good points today, isn't it? Whereas unfortunately we've only had 11 guys in it, but unfortunately for these guys, all of them get points for their efforts, unless they disconnect. Obviously, Slim on the outside, Geordie parks his car on the inside. He's going to go for the switch back there. He's done very well as well, Slim has. Gesundheit, excuse me. And now they're going on the outside into oh, and look at that, and Slim there. Geordie, he's very good at defending, isn't he, Geordie? I think the other drivers might not be too impressed with it, but I certainly am going very wide there, Slim is. And you can see for towards that deserved a penalty, really, and taking liberties on the track limits there, coming into the Sachs curve now. I don't think you can overtake really much around here, as Vanquish is now just. He's still in DRS range, so he'll have DRS going down the main straight, but he is on the limit of DRS, and he's like, what was 5 thousandths of a second out of the range, almost 5 thousandths of a second outside the DRS there, but he is just in it, and that's the main thing, isn't it? As Crazy Power has got another, so we're going to have lots of penalties in the end. I can't remember Vanquish getting a penalty yet so far, so remember the clean racing might prevail here. There's now Slim is all in the back of Geordie. What's he going to do? He's going to. We've got 14 laps to go. Then he's going on the outside. Geordie sticks to his usual defensive tactics there. And you see, look, oh, and Geordie there. Good job there from Geordie. And now he's trying to come back out and going into. Oh, I think he got on the grass there. Now in front of the Mercedes grandstand there. Beautiful grandstand it is too, and now coming into the stadium section, this is, I think that the stadium section is usually not a very good place to overtake, but it's a great place to watch F1 cars, because that's why they call it the stadium section, because it is basically like a stadium. One of the better parts of one of the better, more interesting parts of racetracks is Vanquish is for some reason I was on board with the Sauber there, and Vanquish there again is just under half a second back, so we're just keeping on those guys, make sure they're still behaving themselves. They're still first and second at the moment, but now the other Ferrari is of Slim, who is second in the championship. It's not been a very good day for Slim at the moment, but so he needs to get as many points back as he can, because later on in the championship that might be might come back to help him out. So more points can be, of course, for been so good in the construction this year. I know they've been a great team. It's in Australia. Whoa! We'll come back to that story in a minute because Slim is now up into 6th position. Is Geordie going to go for it? He does go for it. Oh, Geordie there gives him space. Good driving from both guys there. So Geordie is down to 7th. Slim is up into 6th position now. So expect Slim to pull away here, mainly because whoa, Geordie's going back at him. He's going back at him. I thought there was a bit of contact there, but yeah, well, that was a brave move, wasn't it, from Geordie? Very feisty. Very feisty, the Renault drivers today, and so I think that do I dare say it's a done deal? Well, Geordie proved me wrong in the just a minute ago. As Vanquish is down to a 10th of a second, and that's why, because look, they're going side by side, and Vanquish is now. You see Vanquish, I think, letting Samster back through, but look at this. I think he's got the pace at the moment to get himself in the lead. Lap 22 out of 34. What are we going to Can Samster keep up? You see Vanquish is really harvesting. He's got no deployments out there at all at the moment. You can see he's got a 3-second penalty, Vanquish has. And we're going to join the battle for the lead in a minute, but if we're going to stay on with this battle here, I think Crazy Power might be too far back. He is 3/10 back. Geordie, he's got some. Oh my God, he's going for it. Oh no! And wow, that's a dive bomb for our Sin one. And Crazy Power is also through, and he's not giving Slim an inch there. Slim is down to 8th. Slim is down to 8th. So that is, and now Samster has also gone off the track as well. Then, so this is the battle for the lead. So we're trying to focus on the battle for 6th and the battle for the lead here at the moment. Lap 23 out of 34. Number 6, Vanquish in the Force India, is now has he got within range? We've got yellow flag in sector 2. I think it was Slim going off the track there. So unfortunately we caught the end there, but Vanquish is on the inside, going into the hairpin. That must be a done deal. He's just got to slow it down. He has slowed it down, but Samster trying to have it come back at him. But we see Vanquish there just doing what he needs to do, keeping himself in front. And now Vanquish leads the German Grand Prix. As you got Carton coming in the pits now, so Carton's going to be flying on those soft tyres now. So yeah, Vanquish is going to just vanish in the lead now. Well, it's still under half a second, so he's still within DRS range. BP is only 3.5 seconds back. He's done a great job today, BP has. Really, really well done. And another man has done a great job. His heels are up from 11th on the grid up into 4th position at the moment. Geordie's been involved in a lot of Dyson today. Great stuff just from Geordie. As whoa, Samster's in the pits. Is this a tactical decision? Samster's coming into the pits. He's coming in, and he's going to have a blitz on the Autosofts. No, he's going on the soft tyres. So yeah, so Samster going on the soft tyres. So he's going to have pace. He's damaged his front wing somewhere. So Samster has damaged his front wing. He comes out of the pits now, and he is safe from the Renault driver of Hillsrap. Renault having a great day today. They're the strongest team out there in terms of the pairing, because Hillsrap is 4th and Geordie 5th. We're going to join Geordie in a minute, because I think that Crazy Power is getting interested in his 5th position again. I remember Slim will be, hopefully Slim hasn't damaged his car too much, because he can also be involved in that battle as well. Now we're on board then with Crazy Power. Of course, Carton has just come out on the soft tyres, similar to what Samster has done. Samster is 20 seconds back. He's 16 seconds back from BP. That's good. That's a tall order. So Samster, maybe he might have sacrificed second there to get through, but yeah, of course we don't do fastest, the point fastest up yet. That'll be in the next game of 2019. Remember, 2019 comes out in June time, I think. And you've seen we've had a couple of trailers, haven't we? You can customise your cars online. That's going to be good. So we're looking forward to that. We might see some very interesting colour schemes next year. Of course, there's Formula 2 in that game as well. So yeah, there's a lot of new features. I'm really looking forward to Formula 2 actually on career mode. So I think the career mode's got a bit stale lately, hasn't it? And I've decided to venture out to the big online world, and unfortunately for you guys, you've now got to listen to a Forester. Oh, but there's now Crazy Power getting closer to Geordie now. Geordie, these two have been at it all through the race. It's been great stuff to see. Vanquish is 4 seconds in front now. Samster hasn't really made much ground on BP at the moment, and they're coming across the line now. Slim is now under 2 seconds. Carton's now under 2 seconds on Slim. I think the Slim's just Carton's just done fast up the race on the soft tyre. I wonder if it's going to be a duel between Carton and Samster for the fastest lap. But we're certainly going to have a duel between Crazy Power and Geordie. What's this round? Well, to be honest, they've been battling since the beginning, haven't they? So this has been a race-long battle. This has. It's been fairly entertaining as well. These still too far back at the moment, but of course he is in DRS range. You can see there's the Ferrari Slim second in the championship at the moment, only 7th at the moment. That's going to that's not going to help him. I think Samster with this result, my maths is not very good, but will he go to second position? Well, take my word for it. Yes. I don't know. As you can see a lock up there from Crazy Power is coming around now. Coming into the stadium section now. He's doing some. Both guys are doing harvesting because they know that the Samster has in the fast lap of the race. He's gone to a 13.4. That was an impressive time from Samster. Almost 6 tenths a second quicker than Carton. Carton's now in the second behind Slim at the moment. Slim is dropping back from these guys, so I wonder if Slim had a bit of damage to his bit of damage to his car. Maybe he's hurt his tyres or something, but he is dropping back from these guys now. And now Carton is going to be in DRS range. Joey's got a penalty for going wide into turn 1. You can see, if you guys remember, the old track used to carry on straight on there and go blast through the forest as well. Of course, Gerard Berger loved this track. Slim is gone. Harton's gone in front of Slim going into turn 2 there, so that's a good. That just shows how quick those soft tyres are. He is 4 seconds back from Crazy, so I think the Carton is going to be a threat to these guys coming in this race. We've got 8 laps to go, but that's more than enough time, I think, for Carton. You see, he's getting a bit dull out there, but I don't think rain's going to affect this race now. So Vanquish is the gap between Vanquish and BP is down to 3 seconds. Samster is 18 seconds back from BP in 3rd. That's the podium position. Hills Rap is at 4th at the moment. Great drive from Hills Rap, but then 16 seconds back is a teammate of Geordie in 5th. Crazy Power is in 6th position, under a 2nd now. So you see he's going to be causing all sorts of problems for Geordie. As Carton is 7th, and he's on the soft tyre, and 8th position is Slim, who's dropping back, unfortunately. We didn't see what happened to Slim, but we've just seen him going very wide just before the section, just before the stadium. So hopefully there wasn't contact there, but you can see now then DRS is ready. So this is where the Crazy Power is going to set him up, ready for the blast down to the hairpin. Again, Geordie's rear end is very lively, isn't it? Look at this, he's already on the back of Geordie, so you can see we've got a rear shot for you, now we've got a front shot for you. As you can see, Geordie is now dropped down to 6th. Is he going to have a lunge? He is going to have a lunge. He is not giving this up, but that's a very controlled lunge though, isn't it, from Geordie? Great racing, brilliant stuff, and the Crazy Power on the 5th position. Now, if you can just get out of DRS and just pull away from Geordie, I think Geordie's struggling on tyre wear this race, isn't he? Yeah, because his backhand's been very lively, but you see, he hasn't given up the ghost just yet, has he, Geordie? Because he had a major lunge at Slim, didn't he, a few laps ago. Now into the stadium sector then, and into the Sachs curb. Lovely bank curb that Sachs curb is. See, the penalties are now piling up. You keep seeing at the bottom, race control, penalty, and there's might be another warning there from Geordie. Geordie's still in DRS range, so he's still interested in that 5th position, and who wouldn't be? Of course, he's only half a second back as well. He kept it on the track, didn't he, Geordie? So Geordie has been the star of the race, hasn't he? In terms of hogging all the spotlight, hasn't he? He's been involved in some cracking battles. Now he's got DRS. Can Crazy Power defend? Of course, it was the other way around last time around. Geordie has now got his errors, and he's got DRS, of course, DRS, and he's going on the outside. He's on the grass. He was determined to get on the inside there. Geordie Power. Yeah, I've just fused their names, and that lock up there from Crazy. He's trying to do the switch back, but Geordie parks his car nicely. And Geordie's having a great racing turn, and you can see, look at Carton in the background, kind of just hunting these guys down with 5 laps to go. Can Carton's aim will probably be 5th position, surely. And then once these guys keep battling, it's just going to play into the hands of Carton, isn't it? As it's now coming into the same section once again. You can see it's quite a short lap around here, isn't it? It's a 1 minute 14 normally, so yeah, it's a very short lap. I remember back when this race first came about, where they were hoping for a 1 minute 30 lap. So what's that? That's almost 15 seconds off of what they wanted, really. It's a decent circuit. I have been very critical of it, but it's an alright circuit. I wouldn't say it's one of the best in the world these days, but yeah, it's enjoyable. It does bring some great racing, doesn't it? As we've seen today, absolutely barnstorm of a race between Geordie and the rest of the field. Absolutely, it's been great, hasn't it? Geordie versus the world. He's now 17 seconds back from his teammate, and the Carton is now coming up within a second round. But Crazy Power might be too far back here, but he will be gaining because the RS is not an instant boost. It is more of a hand just to push the car forward, so you don't really feel it. Instantly. It's more gradually. But that's what Martin Brundle says anyway. And now going into Crazy Power, looking at it, he's all over the back of Geordie now. But Geordie going defensive again. There's another lockup. No, we're just seeing on board Carton now. See, look at that. He's just looking intently, watching these guys battle it out. Carton's got a 3-second penalty. Carton's got quite a few penalties now, so those penalties might be what makes or breaks a race. Look how curved that Sachs curve is there. Great banked curve as now they're coming into the final couple of corners now. And now they cross the line in. This is the first DRS zone out of 3. So I think that you can see, look at the speed here, but he's just going to set him up. He's not going to be able to get through there. Well, he might set him up earlier this time, so he might try and get through before the hairpin. And Carton was looking very interested there, but understeered, but almost going into Carton. Now Carton, it's got the fresher tyres, so we're going to freeway battle down to the hairpin now. You see, look how much more speed Carton's got, but Geordie is doing very well. And we've got BP's vantage point as well. Geordie going into it. Was I contact on the wrong view there? And then Geordie unfortunately has dropped down to 7th position then, so Crazy Power is also through. But is that going to be in the battle? I don't think so. So now Carton is 18 seconds back. I think that's the best he's going to do in today's race. So Carton will be 5th, and BP is 6th, and Geordie is 7th. Can Geordie keep up with Power and have one more round where he's gone very wide? Then he probably might. Is he out of the DRS range? Not quite. No, he's not quite out of the DRS range yet. So Carton are breezing, well, I wouldn't say breezing by as such, of course, remember, look at that, an old school pit board. They still have pit boards out just in case the radios fail or anything like that. Even though a lot of people, not really fond of Jeff. I don't mind Jeff, but when I used to race, all I heard in the party was shut up Jeff, from a good friend Double as well. And you can see the Carton then sliding out, and he is not outside the DRS range yet, so Tracy is still in DRS range. You can see that we're just watching that of the DRS now, and we're back on board with Crazy Power. And is he going to, I think he's too far back, isn't he, Crazy? I think Crazy will be crazy to go for that move. So I think that he will settle for 6th position here. And Geordie is 7th, he's a second back now, so I think that he's had a great race, hasn't he, Geordie has? He's definitely been thoroughly entertaining, hasn't he, the Renault driver, number 33. Oh, number 33, is it? It is it? I thought Verstappen was 33. I don't think that's right, is it? Yeah, possibly. Anyway, yeah. The Carton's still not out of DRS range yet. Into that 32 then of this. Whoa, and Crazy Power there, just keeping it on the straight and narrow there. I was trying to do very quick maths then to just to see where people are on the table. I think I'll wait for the experts to do that, but yeah, certainly it's been a bad day for the second place man in the championship. It's been a great day for the championship leader once again. Vanquish is just looking unstoppable at the moment in the Pink Panther. It's been absolutely amazing stuff from Vanquish. Every race I've seen, he's just been peerless, hasn't he? He's absolutely outstanding driver, isn't he? But BP has had a great drive as well today in 2nd position. Of course, has missed a couple of races. He's been on holiday, but he's come back today and he's been fighting with the front guys in the 2nd position. Be well chuffed for that. Well, I certainly will be. Anyway, Sam Sturr, who's done 2 stops, and I don't think this final stop has really worked into his hands. He's still 13 seconds back from BP, so he's dropped down from 2nd to 3rd in that instant. Hills are up, started 11th on the grid, and had a great drive, hasn't he? He's gone from the medium to the soft tyres, and that's really paid dividends, especially in his front. He's had interesting battles in the first stint. 2nd stint, he's just been keeping it on the straight and narrow and trying to get it home. Carton, of course, unfortunately damaged the front wing, so he went from the soft tyres to the medium tyres and then went back to the soft tyre, and now then, just trying to get out of range of Crazy Power. Crazy Power is really he's on 18 lap old medium tires, but he's certainly still going to cart in a food for thought, isn't he? Because he's not he's out of DRS range now, but he's still there or thereabouts. Carton can't afford to make a mistake. Geordie dropping back quite considerably now. He is now 4 seconds back, but he's on 22 lap old medium tyres. That is the longest stint of everyone in this racing. And Sam Circles, the championship, second in the championship at the moment, is only 8th fastest. So on the following lap now, then is these guys are starting to spread out. On the following lap, then, so Vanquish is coming down there for fun. You can see his fuel light flashing. He does like to run quite close to the limit, doesn't he? Of course, some of these drivers might have started fuel with which is less than the actual race, so he must have need to do some fuel saving. And Vanquish's middle stint or middle part of the race, where he had to just keep his toe down, is that's really what won the race. This pace to get from a second up into lead was amazing. Of course, he dropped down the third, didn't he, to begin with, but he's fought back. He got by BP, and then had a great battle with Samster. And now this is where he is now. He's coming into the final section for the final time then for Vanquish. So the gap is under 2.8 seconds, but I think he's just cruising to the line now. Coming out of the Sachs turn for the final time on lap 34. You can see he's going very dull all of a sudden, but luckily it's the last lap, so rain ain't going to interfere in the race as it did in qualifying. And he comes through the final corner, and Vanquish wins the German Grand Prix. BP comes home in second position. A great drive from BP. Sam Sturr all on his own in third position, but that's a podium for Sam Sturr, and that might help him elevate him into second in the championship. See just a bit of showmanship towards the end there, Sam Sturr, and he is third. We're going to watch Hills are Up now, who's had a great race, a very good race, and of course formerly known as Eli Arcos. Now he comes around the final corner now, the number 93 Renault. Great drive from Hills are Up. Of course, unfortunately, a bit of a lonely race towards the end now. Carton then is coming through to finish 5th. The question is, though, this is where penalties might come into play. Carton comes through the final corner, and he is going to finish 5th position, depending on penalties. And no, because Crazy Power finishes 5th at the moment. Carton is down to 6th. Geordie's tyres looks to have come to the end of their life, and he will be 7th, and Slim will be 8th, I believe. So yes, he is 8th. So that's that then. So we had it. Unfortunately, we only had 11 runners in this race, which is a shame. But if you want to join this league, then get in touch with Slim or with Slim or Matt or Built and Matt. I'm not sure the other admins are. I think Asdog's also an admin as well. So get in touch, and hopefully you'll be joining the elites. And to be honest, it's been a great racing today, hasn't it? Great fighting up and down the field. And of course, it's been very controlled by Vanquish, and who can stop this man at the moment? He is just looking superb. And there are the three drivers then: Vanquish, BP, and Sam Sturr. So just looking at the final classification, you can see everyone got podiums in there. Podiums? No, everyone got penalties in there. Unfortunately, the biggest offender was well, we've got two big offenders there of Slim and Hilserath, but yeah, so we got Vanquish, who won the race from second on the grid to win. BP, who was third on the grid up into second. Sam Sturr started on pole, be only third in the end. Hilserath, who started 11th, right up there in fourth. Crazy Power, who started 10th, right up there in 5th. Carton now down in 6th position. Geordie, great battling today. I'll have for Geordie 7th, Slim 8th, and then our returns was Balco, Lennon, and Roccatoni. I think the next race is in Hungary, isn't it? I think it is. So the next race, which is in a week's time, on Wednesday, normal time, and we'll be coming to you live from the Hungaroring in Hungary. Of course, that's a technical circuit, and that's very much a hard circuit to overtake on. So join us in a week's time, where these guys will be battling again. Also, join us tomorrow for the Super Guys, as it's their turn to race around Germany. And yeah, those guys. Yeah, of course, we'd be interested to see how the championship progresses from there. But yeah, from all of us here, it's goodbye.